it's a very small party. So I think they are between 6 to 10%.
6 to 10% in Hungary. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like MAGA party here, but we are much bigger. So.
Yeah. So, and I would answer your question that what steps did we do? So after we got kicked out from the army, I made connection. So I got into contact with this political party for media support, and until this day, they are supporting us with media, with political deeds. And in the very same time, I went to the Helsinki attorney. I hope I say the correct term, attorney, yes. And we told what's our problem. And we wanted to bring the whole case in front of Strasbourg, the Strasbourg court. And we knew that it's not going to be that easy. And we started to think that attacking the vaccine itself is it's not going to work, because the resistance was so hard that especially that time, 22, that we figured out that, okay, we are not going to make a full-scale assault. In the army, we are using probing attacks, so reconnaissance by fire. So we will give a bait, and we will see what's the response. And we attacked not with the vaccination, but with the denying of secondary citizen jobs, job opportunities. You see, even if it...
What do you mean? Like you were out of the army and they were doing what? The second job? Can you explain that?
So we asked the Helsinki attorney, please represent us in front of the...
You are talking about the Helsinki Committee, which is organization which monitors human rights.
Yes, they help a lot of people. They help in every kind of aspects, like they are helping for minorities, etc. And we said that, okay, now you can help us.
And they really help you, or just was like they were...
I have to tell you that yes, they did. Yes, because they told me that, listen, Zoltán, it's because only the denying of the secondary citizen jobs, and the denying of discharging, and even though it happened with us because of denying, refusing the vaccine, if the original subject would be different, the procedure itself is full illegal. Okay. And these guys at the Helsinki committee, they told us that we are not on the same side about vaccination, but what they did to you, it's unexplainable. So we will help you. And we did the necessary steps, but within months, the court in Strasbourg rejected the whole topic. So they didn't want to take the case.
Of course, bureaucrats, European bureaucrats, American bureaucrats, or wherever bureaucrats are lazy, and they don't want to seek the truth, and they don't want to help people. So we have to destroy them or remove them, like we're doing right now in US. And listen, the bureaucrats listening in Hungary right now, we are coming for you. The Trump wave will reach Hungary, Poland, Germany sooner or later.
I hope it will be a tornado. So I have to say that it was a little bit interesting, what happened at the Strasbourg court, because 90% of us got rejected because of obvious reasons. Basically, we didn't we didn't do every legal step in Hungary, because in order to get your cause in front of the Strasbourg court, you have to do everything. You have to do every level in the legal system of your country. And after the highest, national legal level rejects you, then you can go to Strasbourg. And we didn't do that, but some of us did. And those guys who did everything in Hungary and they went to the Strasbourg court, they were rejected as well, but with no explanation.
Any other options you aim right now?
After that, we start. Yes, almost every lawyer who we met didn't want to take the case. Just no.
Mm-hmm. So you have no road ahead of you. You don't have any ideas how to proceed.
We did, because we start. I'm not going to discuss every
okay.
background work, but with a lot of work, we were able to enforce a letter from the Minister of Defense in Hungary, and in that letter, the guy actually accepted and admitted that it was not an order.
Oh, so they're wishy-washy, like in every country. They trying to basically right now turn back the time and say, oh, like nothing really happened. You guys decided to do that, and now people have short memory. That's why. But we have to remind everybody that something like that happened, and people were really suffering. Millions of people died. And that they were sick for a long time. People committed suicide, get into alcoholism and other addictions. So it's not so simple. We cannot forget and hunt those people still. They have to be responsible for what they did. So I hope you're going to be successful. But maybe another subject. I saw you have a YouTube channel, probably Facebook. Did they censorship on the platforms, on social media? No?
No, that's very important that even though we went to this political party, and because of them, we got into the alternative media, not into the mainstream, but into the alternative media. And a lot of Hungarians saw these happenings, and but nothing changed. And after we managed to get this answer from the Minister of Defense, I wanted to get into the Ministry of Defense, and I wanted to talk to the Chief of Staff. And surprisingly, he accepted my call, and I had the opportunity to meet and speak with the guy. Mm-hmm. Now he's the new Chief of Defense, not the same guy who got rid of us. And basically, what they said was that, sorry, but we are not able to rehabilitate you because nothing illegal happened with you. And I said, do you see this letter? The minister wrote that it was not an order. Yeah, of course, it was not an order. Why? Do you remember anybody who would say this would be an order? And everybody did it. Everybody did it.
I'm telling you, I'm really angry. I will smash those freaking idiots, those bureaucrats in my one hand if I could. But if we're at that topic, talking about mandates, and maybe at this point it's good to talk about President Trump, because in US we had a completely different situation. The Biden administration and former nasty idiot Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin discharged, same thing like they did to you, over 8,000 troops from 21 to 23, due to, of course, the CV-19 VAX status, and they just discovered that suddenly recruitment was shortfall. Like there had no recruits coming. People didn't want to go there and get jobs. So, but in 2023, I believe so, that mandate was repealed, and only 40 soldiers returned to duty. 2025 comes, January 20th, Trump is inaugurated, and January 27th. So that's 1 week after inauguration, President Donald Trump signed executive order reinstating all discharge service members who basically requested it. And he restored their ranks, back pay. Imagine this, back pay, and all the benefits. President Trump basically, I can show you that.
We follow day by day what's happening in the U.S.
Yeah. So that's the from the White House exact description of that January 27 executive order. So basically, President Trump said that was injustice and argued that basically healthy service members were wrongfully dismissed, despite like all the scientific evidence that there was bullshit. And of course, people have natural immunity, and they didn't even care because you are so young, you are healthy, you didn't have to. Your immune system, they were doing that to children, which they didn't have to. So you were a strong, healthy soldier, and they basically wanted to weaken you. And so President Trump did, in my point of view, really nice job reversing that bullshit from Biden regime. Question for you: do you think that how you can do it? Probably in other NATO alliance countries, similar thing happened. I don't know, maybe France, Germany, Poland. Do they have to follow that example regarding soldiers and jabs for CV-19? What can be done? Let's say in your case in Hungary, that you can guys put pressure, maybe create some bigger organization that put pressure on those freaking bureaucrats to move their asses and help you, and basically maybe there are some lawyers they can basically sue them and bring the justice on the surface.
There's no legal option in Hungary. We did it, we tried it, it's not working. And it's not about the bureaucrats. In Hungary, a bureaucrat is a state slave. He got orders, and he's not thinking. He will do what guys from higher echelon will tell him or her. Only one man is making decisions in this country, and if we are not getting rehabilitated or compensated, it's because of his will. That's so simple. And like I said, Hungary is not the USA. Although in the Western countries, a lot of things turned completely, 180 degrees. Now it's not. These guys are not so sure about themselves. But just some weeks ago, or one and a half month ago, the Hungarian media, Prime Minister Orban, they made a video about how successful was the whole mandate and how jabs, they were very effective, and it was like a triumph. Okay, they did everything the best, and it was a glorious deed to save the Hungarian nation from this disease, and etc., etc. So these guys are not going to change their minds, and they don't care about what's happening in other countries. Yeah, the CIA told this. Yeah, the German secret agency did a new report, but we don't care, because I had the opportunity, because of the political support. We wanted to make rehabilitation and compensation done by the state, legal, and of course, they rejected this as well. It happened last week, on the last week. So we are here in 2025, and still they don't get the clue. And if maybe they have the clue, they don't care. So like President Trump did a lot of things, and that's not a new thing, by the way. For 2 years, Trump already told what he's going to do with the unvaccinated and kicked out soldiers. He just kept his word. That's it. But there was a CPAC conference in the USA, and a lot of conservative party members from all around the world, they went to there and they discussed a lot of topics. And Hungarians were on this CPAC conference as well. And when they come back to Hungary, they did CPAC Hungary, and they copied everything except one thing: the vaccination and the problems. They don't speak not a single word. I tell you, yesterday was the first day when there was a discussion about that it was not good and it was full fake. Yesterday. And I think if President Trump would not be successful, and Democrats would be in the seat of the president.
Well, listen, if Kamala Harris will be right now in the White House, we will be in a big black hole. You cannot even imagine that this freaking political prostitute will destroy not only United States but the whole world. But I want people who are listening to us to understand that you are example of the person who were harmed by the system in Hungary, but there are thousands and thousands, probably similar people suffering around the world, especially in Europe. And we want you guys to spread that video and basically show those bureaucrats this executive order that can be done. If it can be done in US, it can be done everywhere in the world. I watched our chat, and there is an interesting entry. Marzena Tolarczyk, she said the European Union will never do the same as US with their soldiers. We cannot come with the approach like that. Of course, if we put pressure, if you guys put pressure and talk about it and spread and make videos like that with other soldiers. I know that there are soldiers in Germany, in Poland who were harmed that way. You change your leaders, and it can happen. You never say never. Never give up, like Trump always says. So never give up. But talking about changing the leaders, I want to talk with you about Orban, because I see Orban from different spotlight than you do, and you basically enlightened me a little bit yesterday and today, because people listen to media, and most of the conservative medias are presenting him as a somebody really taking care of their nation, of citizens, that he's very conservative prime minister, and you tell me that during the pandemic, Hungary looked similar to the other countries, and of course, government implemented strict lockdowns, draconian mandates, and the rugs on the mouth, and that affected Hungarian society big time. Tell us who really Viktor Orban is and what role he played during that time, and what role he plays right now.
So, first of all, Viktor Orban is a politician, and he's up for himself. So that's very easy. he did everything almost 100% the same what Western countries did during the pandemic. And tons of videos on YouTube or any kind of other platforms you can see that, for example, in the beginning of 2020, when the whole pandemic started, first he told that no, there's not going to be any kind of mandatory vaccinations in Hungary. Hungarians would not accept it because Hungarians are very proud, etc., etc. And step by step, it became more and more different. So you see, maybe you thought that people got short memory, and that's very true. The ordinary citizen, in my opinion, if something is not in front of him or her, and daily things to do, 2 weeks to 2 months, and he or she will forget everything. So in 2021, suddenly it became mandatory, and Viktor Orban started to tell in front of the cameras, into the radio, even the unvaccinated will realize that they will vaccinate themselves or they will die. So 1 year or 1.5 years from no mandatory vaccination, jab or die. And suddenly, with Comrade Putin, small secret operation, suddenly it disappeared. And all those people who jabbed themselves, they got extra options. So they could go to the restaurant, they could go abroad, whatever. And after the Russian-Ukrainian war broke out, they could throw out to the trash can their special passport because of vaccinations. Nobody cared after that. And about our prime minister, he tells what people wants to hear. But even himself, he did an infamous quote or motto. I don't remember the right word, but he had a famous saying or quote that, don't listen to what I'm talking about, see what I'm doing, okay? That was the same guy I'm talking about. So what he says is just one thing. See what he's doing. Most of the time, completely the opposite. So if he says that there's not going to be mandatory vaccinations, there will be. And he's always giving some time to the Westerners. Let others start the whole project. See what's happening. And after that, he will make a decision. And I think a lot of people, if you're talking about, national things, about conservative things, I have to say that he started his career as a liberal back in the end of the 80s.